Hello friends, welcome to Let's Make 10 Syllabus Simple channel. Economics textbook, the first chapter is development. In this video, we are going to discuss about the chapter. The idea of development or progress has always been with us. We have aspirations or desires about what we would like to be and how we would like to live. Similarly, we have ideas about what a country should be like. What are essential things that we require? Can life be better for all? How should people live together? Can there be more equality? Development involves thinking about these questions and about the ways in which we can work towards achieving these goals. This is a complex task, and in this chapter we shall make a beginning at understanding development. We will learn more about these issues in greater depth in higher classes. Section 1. What development promises? As we already know, different people of the social groups have different goals as per their needs. Table 1.1 in your textbook gives the category of people and their development goals or their aspirations. After studying the table, let us ask this question to ourselves. Do all of these persons have same notion of development or progress? Most likely not. Each one of them seeks different things. They seek things that are most important for them, that is, that which can fulfill their aspirations or desires. In fact, at times, two persons or group of persons may seek things which are conflicting. For example, to understand in deep, a girl expects as much as freedom and opportunity as her brother, and that he also shares in household works. Her brother may not like this. Similarly, to get more electricity, industrialists may want more dams, but this may submerge the land and disrupt the lives of people who are displaced, such as tribals and few community peoples. They might resent this and may prefer small check dams or tanks to irrigate their lands. An agricultural farmer may expect more rain for his crops and a good harvest, but a salt seller refuses it so that his business won't be destructed. From these examples, we got to know different persons can have different development goals, which may be development for one, may not be development for the other. It may be even destructive for others too. Section 2. Income and other goals. If you see the table again, you will notice one common thing. What people desire are regular work, better wages, and decent price for their crops or the other products that they produce. In other words, they want more income. Besides seeking more income, one or the other way, people also seek things like equal treatment, freedom, security, and respect for others. They resent discrimination. All these are important goals. In fact, in some cases, these may be more important than more income or more consumption, because material goods are not all that you need to live. Money or material things that one can buy with it is one factor on which our life depends, but the quality of our life also depends on non-material things mentioned above. If it is not obvious to you, then just think of your role of your friends in your life. You may desire their friendship. Similarly, there are many things that are not easily measured, but they mean a lot to our life. Example, the love of our parents and the importance of our studies. These are often ignored. However, it will be wrong to conclude that what cannot be measured is not important. Consider another example. If you get a job in a far off place, before accepting it, you would try to consider many factors apart from the income, such as facilities for your family, working atmosphere, or opportunity to learn. In another case, a job may give less pay but may offer regular employment that enhances your sense of security. Another job, however, may offer high pay but not job security and also leave no time for your family. This will reduce your sense of security and freedom. Similarly, for development, people look at mix of goals. It's true that women, if engaged in outside work, her dignity increases in the surrounding area. However, it is also the case if there is respect for women, there would be more sharing of housework and a greater acceptance of women outside working. A safe and secure environment may allow more women to take up a variety of jobs or run a business. Hence, the development goals that people have are not only about better income but also about other important things in life. Section 3, National Development. As we studied as of now, we know different individuals have different ideas of development. But in a country, there are lots of people. So it's very important to keep in mind that different persons could have different as well as conflicting notions of country's development. Can all ideas be considered equally important? If there are conflicts, how does one decide what would be a fair and just path for all? We also have to think whether there is a better way for doing work. Would the idea benefit a large number of people or only a small group? National development means thinking of all these questions. How to compare different countries or states? You might ask, if development can mean different things, how come some countries are generally called developed and others are underdeveloped? Before we come to this, let us understand another question. When we compare different things, they could have similarities as well as differences. Which aspect do we use to compare them? Let us think at the students in the class itself. How we compare different students? They differ in height, health, talents, and interest. The healthiest student may not be the most studious one, and the most intelligent student may not be the friendliest one. Of course, this happens in every classes. So how do we compare students? The criterion we use may depend on the purpose of comparison. We use different criterion to choose a sports team, a debate team, a music team, a dance team, or a team to organize picnic. Usually, we take one or more important characteristics of persons and compare them based on the characteristics. Of course, there can be differences about what are the important characteristics that should form a basis of comparison, friendliness, and the spirit of cooperation, creativity, or marks secured. This is true in the eye of development too. For comparing countries, their income is considered to be one of the most important attributes. Countries with higher income are more developed than others with less income. This is based on the understanding that more income means more of all these things that human beings need. Whatever people like and should have, they will be able to get with a greater income. So, greater income itself, it is considered to be one of the important goals. Now think, what is the income of a country? We would think that the income of the country means the total income of the residents of the country. However, for comparison between the countries, total income is not such an useful measure. Since countries have different population, comparing total income will not tell us what an average person is likely to earn. Are people in one country better than of the others in a different country? Hence, we compare the average income, which is the total income of the country, divided by the total population. The average income is also called the per capita income, which is discussed further on this topic. In World Development Reports brought by the World Bank, the criterion used in classifying the countries that the per capita income of 2019 US dollar 49,300 and above are developed countries or high income countries. US dollar 2,500 and less are low income or not developed countries. India comes in the middle low income countries with the per capita income of 6,700 US dollars in 2019. The rich countries, excluding countries of Middle East and certain some small countries, are generally called developed countries. While averages are useful for comparison, they also hide some disparities. Here in the table, there are discussed two countries that are country A and country B, and consider just 5 members as the population of those countries. In the country A, all the 5 population earn different amounts of their income, are most likely to be equal. But in country B, first 4 population earn just 500 and the fifth one earn the most highest. The country's average is equal for the both. Now ask the question, will you be equally happy to live in both the countries? Are you both equally developed? We may think country B is better when only the case we are the fifth citizen of that country. But in actual, country A is better because the income of the people are more likely equal. Income and other criteria. When we looked at the individual aspiration and goals, we found that people not only think of better income but also have goals such as security, respect for others, equal treatment, freedom, etc. in mind. Similarly, when we think of a nation or a region, we may, besides average income, think of other equally important attributes. What could these attributes be? Let us examine through this table, which gives the per capita income of Haryana, Kerala, Bihar. Actually, these figures are per capita net state domestic product at current prices for 2018 and 19. Let us ignore what is this complicated term exactly means. Roughly, we can take it to be per capita income of the state. We find that the 3 Haryana has the highest per capita income and Bihar is at the bottom. This means that on average a person in Haryana earned 2,36,147 rupees in 1 year, whereas on average a person in Bihar earned around only 40,982. So if per capita income were it to be used as well as the measure of development, Haryana will be considered the most developed and Bihar is the least developed state of the 3. Now let us look at the certain other data pertaining to these states in the given table. In this table, there are the different rows of infant mortality rate, literacy rate, net attendance ratio. Infant mortality rate means the number of children that die before the age of 1 year as a proportion of 1,000 live children born on that particular year. In Haryana, there are 30 in number, Kerala 7, Bihar and 32. Literacy rate measures the proportion of the literate population in the 7 and the above age of group. Haryana 82, Kerala 94, Bihar 62. Net attendance ratio is the total number of children of age group 14 and 15 years attending school as a percentage of the total number of children in the same age group. Haryana 61, Kerala 83, Bihar 43. Look at the years of this table. It is 2020 to 21. It is not so long old. It is nearly 70 years after independence when our metro cities are full of high-rise buildings and shopping malls. Public facilities. How is it that the average person in the Haryana has more income than the average person in Kerala, but lags behind in these crucial areas? The reason is money in your pocket cannot buy all the goods and services that you may need to live well. So income by itself is not a completely adequate indicator of material goods and services that citizens are able to use. For example, normally your money cannot buy a pollution-free environment or ensure that you get unadulterated medicines unless you can afford to shift to a community that already has all these things. Money may not also be to protect you from infectious diseases unless the whole of your community takes preventive steps. Actually, for many of the important things in life, the best way, also the cheapest way, is to provide these goods and services collectively. Just think, will it be cheaper to have a collective security for a whole locality or for each house to have its own security man? What if no one other than you in your village or locality is interested in studying? Would you be able to study? Not unless your parents could afford to send you to some private school elsewhere. So you're actually able to study because many of other children also want to be study. and because many of the people believe in that governments should open schools and provide other facilities so that all the children have a chance to study. Even now, in many areas, children, particularly the girls, are not able to go to high schools because the government or the society in that locality has not provided adequate facilities. Kerala has a low infant mortality rate because it has adequate provision of basic health and educational facilities. Similarly, in some states, the public distribution system (PDS) functions well. Health and nutritional status of the people such as states in the certainly likely to be better. Here is another table regarding India and its neighboring for 2019. The rows are gross national income (GNI), life expectancy at birth, mean years of schooling of people aged 25 and above, HDI rank in the world. Sustainability of development. Suppose for the present that a particular country is quite developed, we would certainly like this level of development to go up further or at the least maintain for the future generation. This is obviously desirable. However, since the second half of the 20th century, a number of scientists have been warning that the present type of levels and the development are not sustainable. Groundwater is an example of renewable resources. These resources are replenished by the nature as in the case of crops and plants. However, even these resources may be overused. For example, in the case of groundwater, if we use more than the what is being replenished by the rain, then we would be overusing this resource. Non-renewable resources are those which will be exhausted after years of use. We have a fixed stock on earth which can be replenished. We do discover new resources that are did not know of earlier. New sources this way add to the stock. However, over time, even this will get exhausted. Consequences of environmental degradation do not respect national or state boundaries. This issue is no longer region or nation specific. Our future is linked together. Sustainability of development is comparatively a new area of knowledge in which scientists, economists, philosophers, and other social scientists are working together. In general, the question of development or progress is perennial. At all times, as a member of society and as an individual, we need to ask where we want to go, what we wish to become, and what our goals are. So the debate on development continues. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you understood the video. Subscribe our channel for getting the more useful video as you watch now.